Well, good evening. I started taping outside. I was standing outside for quite a long time. And as you can see, it's windy. Beautiful view though. I love living here. Love it, love it, love it. Today, I want to talk about what to do when you do not fit in. There are many times in life when we feel like we do not fit in. Sometimes we feel this way as children when we're in school, on sports teams, or, in bands, other organizations that we participate in. Sometimes we feel this way around our friends, and that can be any age person. Sometimes we feel this way when we're young adults and we go off to college or to the university. We can feel this way at any time and in any place. Houses of worship, jobs, etc. Family even. Sometimes you feel like you don't even fit into your own family. So what can you do if you're in a situation or a place in which you feel like you don't fit? They look at you like you're an alien with 3 eyes and 2 noses and 4 ears or something. Like, where'd this person come from? I say the first thing that you do is bring yourself to the table, your real authentic self. A lot of times we don't fit in, not because of the people around us or the places in which we are, but a lot of times we don't fit in because we're not being true to ourselves. We're not living in alignment most of the time with our Heavenly Father. We're doing things that have absolutely nothing to do with why we were created and brought here to this earth. And as a result, we feel discombobulated. And that's even when we're alone. So imagine when you're in a place doing something that you're really not that interested in. You're just doing it to earn a paycheck or to satisfy somebody else's thoughts, hopes, wishes, and dreams for you. Or, you're married and this is what your spouse wants to do, and this is the people that your spouse enjoys being around, and you're just kind of there because you're there. Basically, what you want to do is this. If you're ever in a situation in which hey, I'm the smallest person on this sports team, they're going to look at me and think, he or she can't achieve anything. Prove them wrong by bringing your best, most confident self to that game. They look at you and say, oh, she doesn't have as much education as everybody else sitting here at this conference table, so she's not going to know what to do about X, Y, and Z. Bring your most confident self to that table. Present your ideas. Ask thought-provoking questions. Volunteer to do things like do part of a presentation or spearhead an important committee, etc. You really have to hone in on who you are as a person and take comfort in knowing that you are yourself every day of your life. A lot of people are too afraid to be themselves because they're afraid that they're not going to be accepted for who they really are. And what I would say to that is, who is it that's not accepting who you really are? Dig deep. Are you afraid that the other people aren't going to accept you? Or is it that you don't really accept you and that's what scares you? is that you want to be who you know you are, but yet simultaneously you're afraid to be that person, because if you are that person, then what? There's no more gaps in your life to fill, and ultimately you're going to be who you are. Your life is quote unquote a success, meaning you've successfully completed your assignment, and it's time to die. I have said it in one of my other videos. We are all afraid to die. There are people that say they aren't, but that's just words. And I say that because when the time really comes, if it came right now today, would you be prepared to leave this thing we call life, to leave this body in which you came here? Are you really prepared to do that? Have you done everything that you know you're supposed to do? Have you had adventure? Have you had miscalculations and learned from them? Have you set out to meet the people, see the places, and do all the things that you know were a part of who you're really supposed to be? If you haven't done that, then you know you're not ready. It's kind of like there's the commercial in which the older woman is laying in her deathbed, and I believe she's speaking Italian, if I remember correctly. And she's basically saying to someone, hey, I've done it all. I've seen it all. I've lived a beautiful life. Now I'm ready. And they show this one product that she sees, I think, out through her window. And she says, you know, a curse word, and I'm not ready, is essentially what she's saying. We are like that. If we know we're not ready, then maybe we need to be about the business of living the life we're supposed to have, being in full and complete alignment with our Heavenly Father and with our purpose, and be about living that purpose. And be about living that purpose no matter who you're around, no matter where you are. One thing I like to do is to mix it up when it comes to life. You know, about a year ago, not quite a year ago, I left a job I had had for over 7 years. It was abrupt. It was scary. It was on my own volition. I wasn't fired or, you know, laid off or anything. But I knew for a while that I was there past my time, that it was beyond time for me to go. And something happened within my own personal life, and I was just like, it's just time. And the something that happened, I'll just say this, it was from a financial standpoint. I just could not go through what I was going through any longer. Am I in a much better place as far as that goes? Not really. However, in the place of business that I'm currently, I've come into contact with people I normally would not have come into contact with. I have learned things that I would not have been learning, and I'm bringing myself to the table. I brought myself at the other job too, but the thing about it is this: you have to get to a point in which you are so comfortable with who you are, and that you know yourself so well that you have the courage and the strength to be who you are every single day, regardless of who's around. Regardless. And there are so many people that I find are not quite there yet. And we like, for some reason, to live lives of pain and displeasure. No, scratch that. It's not for some reason. It's because we're afraid to die. If we did everything we were supposed to do and stayed as close to that line of alignment as we could, rather than having these sharp, you know, peaks up here of being high maintenance, or dips like this of being in complete trauma, if we lived closer to the line of alignment, then we would know, wait a minute, there's not really much else for me to do. Why am I still here? And that would be the end of it. So because we know that in our subconscious mind, we try to prolong it by doing stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with who we are, and spending time with people that have nothing to do with who we really are. But that trick does not work, because we're going to go one day regardless. Ready or not, one day your body is not going to be strong enough to fight off death. Death comes to us all. Now, depending upon your faith, there is life after death. There's even life before death. But we are so afraid to die that we do things that make no sense, like not being our true selves. You've got to be confident enough in who you are, what your purpose is, what your passions are as far as the things that you enjoy doing, that you let absolutely no one and nothing, not even yourself, compromise all of that. You have to be just that strong. If you are just that strong, then everywhere you are, any person you're around, you're going to fit in. You may not fit completely and neatly, but because you are you, there is a place for you everywhere. Because our Heavenly Father that made us made this planet, and He made this planet for us. So anywhere on this planet that you go, there's a place for you. You just have to stand steadfast and immovable in your faith in Him and in who you are, not to ever let anyone or anything, including yourself, make you feel less than. And that's really what the spirit of not fitting in is. The spirit of not fitting in is another way of saying, I feel less than. If we would teach that to our kids, life would be a lot easier for so many more people. And we would all know that regardless, you're going to always fit in. You're never going to be a misfit. So stay true to yourself. Live your life. Enjoy your life. And be thankful every day for your life. It sounds so simple, yet we make it so complicated. What to do when you don't fit in? Celebrate your uniqueness. Show up every day with your uniqueness. And realize that you're not less than. You are just you. Everyone is unique. And because the Creator made this place we call Earth and made each and every one of us, there is a place for all of us, and we all fit in there. Thank you so much for watching.